So you're looking for some turn-based strategy games. I'm actually looking myself. I'm considering playing one of these on one of my other YouTube channels on a daily basis. I have 5 of them here for you today. 5 turn-based strategy games that I think are the best on the market and the ones that I should invest my time playing. And if you're looking for something in that genre, you should as well. So let me share with you what I've found and what I think of each of them right now. Introducing Reverse 1999. This is a turn-based strategy game that is the newest on today's list. This one has come out the most recently. It has 1 million downloads and 4.8 stars already, which is quite good. It's also one that I've spent quite a bit of time playing and that I actually featured on this channel as well. You have your turn-based strategy typical combat that we all know and love from the genre, but what's done different here is how you play your attacks. Essentially, you're utilizing different cards on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, which you can merge together to strengthen or to turn into different types of attacks or healing mechanics inside of the game. In addition to this different style combat that I quite like, to be honest with you, it also offers some really great graphics and a storyline that's quite awesome, if I say so myself. Essentially, in this game, you are going back in time to, you guessed it, 1999, and going to be time traveling throughout the entire game, basically making things change in the past, things happen for the future, and just enjoy different time zones. I actually like this quite a bit because it brings you into a different realm than we see in all these other games. It's not just something that's in a fantasy world or in a dark world. It's something that travels through time and changes as it goes. It's quite fun, very different from the others on today's list, and one of my favorites. Next here today, we have Watcher of Realms. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I really do enjoy a good tower defense game. This one definitely has those features. Let's take a look at some combat here and see what it's all about. As you can see, you have many different heroes that you could place in specific areas on the map and then have them target a certain direction. All of your heroes have different abilities, and instead of a turn-based strategy type combat, it's more of a tower defense style combat. You're trying to defend your entrance to the map while your opponent, well, they're trying to get through you. As time goes on, you're able to deploy more and more heroes, but they also can take damage and be removed from the map. Obviously, like any other game inside of this genre, you're going to be unlocking different heroes inside of the game and progressing their strength, their abilities, their weapons, and their armor as time goes on through grinding through the game and essentially just through playing. It's definitely a grind of a game, and it's a lot like some others that we know, except for the combat is completely different. So if you're someone that likes turn-based strategy games and the gotcha mechanic that's inside of them, but you don't want the traditional turn-based strategy combat and you love tower defense, Watcher of Realms is probably the best option for you to play. The next game I want to feature is Dragonheir Silent Gods, another turn-based strategy game where this one touts itself as offering a large open world where you can explore, unlock, and upgrade different heroes that you find along the way. Then, once you get into your battles, the actual battle mechanics are very similar to other turn-based strategy games. It's a really nice looking game. If you like the exploration element of it, it's not a bad game for you to play either. It does give you a little bit of freedom in the open world to find stuff, explore, and upgrade your heroes. The combat system, though, is very standard for the genre, so it's something that you're probably already familiar with. But as you can see, you're allowed to and enabling you to walk yourself around, engage in some story, and dive a little bit deeper into the lore of the game. Now, if there's any that you guys like or that you would recommend outside of the ones I've shared here so far today, let me know in the comment section below. Now, there is another game that offers us a ton of lore and as well some exploration. This one being a Japanimation anime style game called Honkai Star Rail. This game too allows you to explore an open world and really have an action RPG feel to it, but when it comes to the combat, we're looking at your traditional turn-based strategy. The thing about this one is the game looks absolutely incredible. The combat is intense, fun, and filled with strategy, and if you're someone that loves anime, it's one of the choices that you really can't ignore from today's list. Here, you're going to unlock different heroes along the way, like the other games, all having different abilities which can be upgraded. What stands out for me for Honkai Star Rail is 1, the graphics. It's probably one of the better looking games along with Reverse 1999 from today's list. Additionally, the combat is super fun, not too difficult to figure out, but challenging enough to make the game not a walk-over, push-over type game, and the open world exploration. Now, it's not exactly a full open world, but it is a world that you can explore and get a bunch of story with, and if you like story, this game has got a ton of it. Next up, we have Raid Shadow Legends, and this is the game that you probably all already know of, maybe love, maybe despise. Everyone knows Raid Shadow Legends because of its aggressive advertising campaigns. Not that they promote things that aren't actually in the game, but they are heavy on promotions. Many content creators on YouTube have been hired to promote this game, which is part of why the popularity is legit. The game has decent graphics. This one is not one of the newer games, so it's been around for a while, and the graphics aren't quite as good as some of the others that we're seeing. Obviously, Reverse 1999, it's just got a leg up on this one, but the graphic style is what it's intended to be. The combat can be autoplay, or you can play it manually, and as any other turn-based strategy game, you're going to go through waves of enemies and eventually find your way to the final boss. This game offers both PvE and PvP, and is probably the most popular and the leader turn-based strategy game amongst all the games we're looking at here today. With that being said, it has been around for a while. It has a really loyal player base and a bunch of content creators that can walk you through exactly how to succeed inside of the game. And with some really cool heroes that you learn to love and upgrade along the way, it's a game that you really can't go wrong playing, especially if you aren't afraid to spend a few bucks, but really that could go for any game on today's list. And then we have Everlegion, because we needed to put at least one vertical style turn-based strategy game on today's list. This is probably my least favorite of any of the games, with the graphics that are the most subpar and the gameplay that is just something that we already know and are used to for the genre. There's nothing new being done here. With this being said, the game does offer some really cool different heroes that you can upgrade and unlock along the way, but really the only reason I would choose this one over any of the others is because you want to play a vertical game. If that's not your thing, I would choose literally any of the others from the list that you saw prior. Throw a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.